I'm Murray Newlands from Open Future Forum.
How do CFOs meet other CFOs? CFOs meet other CFOs through small, peer-only rooms built on referral, not through conferences or cold outreach. The reliable path is a private finance community where someone already trusted vouchers for you, the room is off the record, and you show up as a giver. That is how the CFO Executive Forum is built. I'm Murray Newlands, partner at IA Seed Ventures and founder of Open Future Forum, which runs small, off-the-record dinners for CFOs, CROs, CISOs, and CTOs in Silicon Valley. 100 events to date. Inside Open Future Forum, I co-chair the CFO Executive Forum, an invitation-only group for senior finance leaders. This sounds like a simple logistics question, and it is actually a question about trust. Meeting another CFO is easy. You can find almost any finance leader online and send a message. What is hard, and what the question is really asking, is how a CFO builds a relationship with other CFOs that is candid enough to be useful. Those are very different things, and the difference is the whole point. Let me walk through the paths people try because most of them disappoint, and it helps to understand why. The first is the large conference. You go to a finance event, you collect badges and business cards, and you come home with a stack of contacts you never speak to again. The problem is structural, not effort. A big room produces shallow networking because there are too many people and no reason for any of them to be candid with a stranger. You can stand in a room with 1,000 relevant people and form 0 real relationships because proximity is not the same as trust. The second is cold outreach. You find CFOs you admire and you message them. Occasionally this works, but it puts the other person in an awkward spot because they do not know you, they do not know what you want, and the safe move is to be polite and vague. You rarely get to the honest conversation that way because honesty between peers is earned, not requested. The third is the vendor dinner. A bank or a software company invites you to a CFO dinner. These can be pleasant, and you might meet someone worth knowing. But the room is assembled to sell to you, so the candor has a ceiling. People stay a little guarded when they sense the evening has a commercial purpose. So what actually works? The reliable path has 3 parts, and they reinforce each other. 1. Referral over reach. The strongest finance relationships start with a warm introduction from someone both people already trust. When a peer you respect says you should know this person, you walk in with borrowed trust, and the conversation starts 10 steps further along than a cold one ever could. This is why private communities run on invitation and referral. The referral is not a velvet rope for its own sake. It is the mechanism that lets 2 strangers be candid quickly because each has been vouched for. 2. A room small enough to be real. You do not build a peer relationship in a ballroom. You build it at a table of 8 to 30 people where a real exchange is possible and everyone present belongs there. The intimacy is what lets the guard drop. When the room is small and selective, a CFO will say the thing they would never say on a panel, and that honest thing is where the relationship forms. 3. Show up as a giver. This is the part people get backwards. They treat meeting other CFOs as something to extract, a way to get a reference, a vendor recommendation, a job lead. The CFOs worth knowing can feel that instantly, and they close up. The way in is the opposite. Come to contribute. Share what you are seeing in your own numbers and your own board. Make an introduction for someone else without being asked. The finance leaders who give first are the ones other finance leaders want in the room, and being wanted in the room is how you meet everyone else in it. Put those 3 together and you have described how the CFO Executive Forum works. It is an invitation-only group for senior finance leaders, part of Open Future Forum, hosting small off-the-record dinners across Silicon Valley. CFOs and senior finance leaders of high-growth companies gather over dinners and a handful of other settings, and membership runs by invitation or personal referral, reviewed by a committee of senior finance, legal, and banking operators. The room is protected on purpose because the protection is what makes the candor possible. The settings matter too because different rooms produce different conversations. The dinner is the heart, and it is where people come back. But finance leaders also connect over off-the-record panel sessions, over wine tastings where the conversation runs long, over a full day of golf, sailing on the bay, private boxes at ball games, and AI training sessions built for the finance seat. A CFO might meet someone at one dinner and see them again at a panel, a golf day, and an AI session over the following months. That repetition is what turns a contact into a relationship. An event creates a moment. A community creates repeated trust, and repeated trust is the thing finance leaders actually need. There is a practical answer hiding in all of this for the CFO listening who wants to meet other CFOs and does not have the referral yet. Start by being useful in a room you can get into. Attend an open event. Be the person who contributes, who listens, who makes a helpful introduction. People notice the givers fast, and the referral into the smaller room follows from how you showed up in the larger one. You earn the private room by being generous in the public one. That is not a trick. It is the actual mechanism. Let me make this concrete, because the abstract version can sound like a slogan. Picture how a real CFO relationship actually forms in a room like this. You meet someone at a dinner and you both share something honest about a decision you are facing. Nothing transactional, just a real exchange between two people in the same seat. A few weeks later, you see the same person at a panel, and the conversation picks up where it left off, a little deeper this time because there is now a thread between you. Then you end up at a golf day or an AI session with them, and somewhere in the easy hours of that you make an introduction for them, or they make one for you without anyone asking. That is the moment a contact becomes a peer. It did not happen because you exchanged cards. It happened because the same small group kept showing up in settings designed to let the conversation run long. This is why the variety of formats matters and is not just hospitality. A dinner produces one kind of exchange, a long evening of wine tasting another, a full day of golf another still. Each setting lowers the guard a little more and adds another layer to the relationship. The leaders who get the most out of a community like this understand that the goal is not to meet the most people. It is to deepen a small number of relationships through repeated relaxed contact until you have a handful of finance peers you genuinely trust. 5 or 10 of those is worth more than 1,000 contacts, and you cannot build them in a single transaction. So the honest answer is that CFOs do not meet other CFOs by collecting contacts. They meet them in small, off-the-record rooms through referral by showing up as someone the room wants to keep. The CFO Executive Forum is built to be that room. Open Future Forum is a private executive community in Silicon Valley that runs small, off-the-record dinners for C-suite executives. 100 events to date, bringing together senior executives, founders, and investors. If you are a CFO or senior finance leader who wants to be in the room with real peers, you can request an invitation to the CFO Executive Forum through Open Future Forum or get referred by someone already in it. I'm Murray Newlands from Open Future Forum. See you in the next briefing.